Hey, good afternoon, everybody. So I'm a couple minutes late. I was at a conference all day and had to rush, get home, get all this ready. But I'm here. I'm here. Finally cooling down nicely out here in the desert. Um, I think these are going to have to. I like doing it outside because it's a little more inviting. So I might have to start making these a little earlier or doing a recording and putting them on at 6. Or I'll figure that out. But at any rate, I'm here for today. I posted a piece this morning from my book under the chapter called Blame and Shame, with a subtitle or with a subchapter called The Courage to Get Real. And the question I would have is, who really makes you happy? Do you rely on somebody else in your life for your happiness? You rely on your wife to make you happy, and things go wrong between the two of you. You can't shake it off, and it doesn't make you happy. You rely on a mom, father to make you happy. You know, for myself, for years I depended on Kathy's love and approval for me. Sorry about that. I depended on Kathy's love and approval to sustain me. And why was it that Man, I'm tongue-tied today. I'm sorry. I lost a really good friend today. I think that's playing in my head. So if I seem a little distraught or get off track, I apologize. Why was it important that Kathy sustained my love and my approval all the time? Because growing up, I never received love, approval, or acceptance from my mother and my stepfather. So I didn't believe that I was worthy of those things. And so the problem that I had when I was relying on Kathy all the time for that love and that approval was that I never worked on developing my own self-love or my own self-approval. So then, in relying on Kathy, not relying on my own happiness or not relying on God, and Kathy and I would have an argument, I would feel devastated. Feel like a failure, and I'd start drinking or using. And it wasn't only Kathy. There's a lot of things in my life, my business, or a lot of things. If I didn't get a contract that I wanted, then I felt like a failure. What did I do wrong? And it was a shame, not only from my abuse as a child. Hi, sweetheart. Glad you're here with me today. She knows my pain. So I was not only carrying the shame of my abuse around still because I hadn't done any work on it. I was also carrying around the shame of feeling like a failure as a husband because I wasn't making my wife happy. Feeling like a shame as a businessman because I didn't get a contract. Feeling like shame letting people down. I didn't make people happy. So what it was is that other people's happiness is how I gauge my happiness. And that's no way to live. That's just absolutely no way to live. And a lot of people are stuck doing that, and they don't even realize it. They don't even realize it until it's pointed out to them. So what I had to learn to do, and it's all once I got in recovery, it was all through recovery, and working with my sponsor, my therapist. Even though I had a lot of people in my life who loved me, other than my mom and my stepfather, I had my grandparents, I had my wife, I had my children. It wasn't their responsibility to make me happy. What's up, Coulter? It wasn't their responsibility to make me happy. Nobody's responsibility to make me happy. And that's not fair for anybody else to put that kind of a burden on my wife or my children or my grandparents or my friends. Love you too, buddy. Love you too. Sorry. I told you I was going to have a tough time tonight. I was right up front of it, okay? It's not that fair. It's not fair to put that kind of burden on your loved ones to make you happy. The only person that can truly, truly, truly make you happy is yourself. Yeah, there's a lot of superficial happiness that comes. I mean, I'll tell you, being in business and making the money that I made and Kathy made, and we were able to travel the world. We literally traveled the world, and we were able to do a lot of stuff. And most of that, until I got in recovery, was only temporary happiness. But I was carrying around all this dead weight from my abuse, and so eventually, well, what are you doing, Randy? You don't deserve all this stuff. You don't deserve to be happy. Would creep in, and after a cocktail or two, instead of Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde came out. And it wasn't fun because I was relying on everything else around me to give me that happiness that I was seeking so deep inside my soul. So I had to learn to find that happiness myself. And it was a journey. I'm not going to tell you how I did it all. I mean, there's a lot of things I did. But here's what I quoted this morning from my book, page 228. No one, and this is so important, no one can do your work for you. But that's great news. Because once you learn how to make yourself happy, content, and peaceful, once you learn to make yourself happy, content, and peaceful. Hi, Annabelle. No one can take that away from you. Now, does that mean that people can't shake you up? No, people are going to shake you up. Okay? But once you've learned how to practice soothing yourself, once you've learned to take that negative self-talk and talk to yourself in a loving way when you get hurt, okay? You can bring yourself back to center. You learn how to regain your happiness on your own. Hey, Tony, glad you're here. You will walk through the world with a confidence and sense of joy that most people will never know. You know, my journey that I'm doing right now, yeah, I love my wife, and Kathy and I have a great life together. And she makes me happy. And sometimes I still rely on her to pull me out of my doldrum. But the reality is that no matter how kind Kathy is to me, no matter how loving she is to me, I have to pull myself out of my own doldrum. She can just love me through the process, which is what we do today. She loves me through that process of me working my way out of the doldrum of pain. She on any day she can look at me and tell me she knows what's going on. It's true. People disappoint me all the time. And my therapist told me, Randy, people are going to disappoint you, hurt you, and lie to you. That's just how life is. And she had a hard time with that for so many years because I was lied to so much as a kid growing up. And I've learned right now, and I'm still learning the lesson that when people do that, it's not personal. It's not my problem. See, I don't know what they're going through. I don't know what they're struggling with. What kind of insecurities do they have where they can't answer an email, or they can't answer a text, or they can't answer a phone call, or they can't be honest, or they gotta tell you what you want, what they think you want to hear instead of tell you the truth. We have to accept that. Now, the key thing about acceptance, we have to accept everything that goes on in this world, because if we don't accept everything that goes on in this world, that means we're fighting everything that goes on in this world. And we're fighting everything that goes on in this world. That means we're being discontent and angry. Get this, and this is important. And those of you that know me and I work with you, you know acceptance does not mean approval. Does not mean approval. Can I change my wife when she's in a pissed off mood? No. I have to accept it when she's like that. Can I change the fact that Kathy had a bad day at work? No. I have to accept it, and now what I do is I just embrace her and hold her and just tell her I'm here for you. I let her relax. I don't get in her face. I don't go, what's wrong? And then. I accept it. And once I accept it, my life gets a lot easier. So, remember, once you've done the work to find your own happiness, and it's a process. But once you work on it and you learn all the tools, okay, nobody can take that away from you ever again. You learn to love yourself. You learn that you're okay. You're okay in God's eyes. You're a child of God. He loves you unconditionally the way you are. Okay? But we have to do the work. You have to do the work. Now you can get more of that in my book, Healing the Man Within. You get that on Amazon.com. There's a whole chapter on this subject. This is a blame and shame chapter. You know, I blamed everybody in the world for my problems. You know, hey, if you were abused like me, you'd be drinking this way too. You'd be talking this way too. You know. Huh. Thanks, Coulter. I know, kid. I hear you loud and clear, and thank you for that. That means a lot to me tonight. So, it's your life. What do you want? Do you want temporary happiness, or do you want happiness that can sustain for a life? Some of you are on here that have worked with me, and you know how painful the journey is. But you also know the rewards of that pain. Far greater than any pain you walk through. So Amazon.com, you can get my book. I know this is going to be backwards and upside down and everything else. I don't know how to fix that, but that's the way it is. Amazon.com, ChangeYourLifeStoryNow.com, life coach. I'm looking for clients. It's a whole nother way of working with people. It'll change your life. I promise you that. It's a journey. And then also, that's ChangeYourLifeStory.com, CourageousHealersFoundation.org. Look, if you know anybody, that's looking for speakers, I speak all over on the subject of abuse and addiction and healing. And we also do that as a group that happens to boys. And the one last thing, then I'll let you all go for the night. I appreciate you being here. Is my ride across America. June, looks like it's going to be the middle of June before I leave. I got the course all mapped out. It's just a matter of finalizing everything. Hopefully by the end of November, I'll have the course finalized, and then I can start putting out all the paperwork I need to put out. I am still looking for help, so if anybody wants to brave it and reach out and help, I'd really appreciate it. Just instant message. All right. Nobody tells you they love you today. God does, and so does Randy. Have a super blessed rest of your week. Bye.